All right, good afternoon. John McLaughlin here with another Crossfire strategy session. It's 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. It's the second session of today. Did one earlier this morning at 6 a.m. And this session goes from 1 p.m. UK time, which is the open of the New York session. So let's look at yesterday. So yesterday the four pairs that we trade, Euro CAD, Euro USD, the GBP CAD and GBP USD. So the pair you can see here is Euro CAD. This is yesterday. This is the open of the session. It's a 1300, and you can see our trend line, the green trend line there, and our red trend line kind of quite shallow there, but that's where it is. And yeah, quite choppy yesterday. A lot of news. So this big candle here was the news from yesterday, the high impact news. And generally every day 13:30 always some kind of news, so it's always good to be mindful of it. So yeah, the price was kind of meandered a little bit, came up a little bit there, didn't quite hit the trend line. It bounced off the trend line and then came down. It bounced off the red trend line and then it went through it. So potentially you could have got a trade in there, but I wouldn't have, because look, you've got the 200 moving average quite close to there, and you know, in terms of taking a profit, you've only got like 4 pips. So no, I'll retract what I just said. Then you couldn't have got anything there. Price then went back up. Okay, in between the two trend lines, it went above the green trend line before then coming back. So pretty choppy day. If you got in a little bit later, you can see the price went on a steady uptrend and it took out this imbalance. So it kind of started to make that move about 14.46. But you can see how price respected the trend line. It came back. The trend line acted as support, just a bit more support on there before it took off, and then went steadily up to take out this imbalance at 17:22 UK time. But generally a pretty choppy day. Nothing really to report on that. Euro USD, yesterday, similar kind of situation. We had the news here. There's our green trend line, there's our red trend line. Okay, and you can see how the news just massively took out stop losses to both sides to liquidate that area, to then take the price down to this area here to hit this imbalance. I think we looked at a trade here, potential trade. That was a 1 to 2, 7 pip stop loss just above the trend line, just above this area here, above the pivot. So nice and safe, and also a nice area or a nice quantity of pips. So we took that out at 1 to 2 ratio. 14 pips was taken, and the take profit was just above the imbalance there. So quite a decent area. Did actually go for more, okay, but you know, we've taken our profits for the day on that one. And you can see how price kind of went to there, it went back up again and then back down again. So again, if you were sort of looking at this and you were staying in for longer, you maybe could have taken a couple of trades out of that. This one set up nicely for a sell, so you could have taken another trade there for a similar risk to reward. The risk to reward with this one, with this strategy, and with my risk management, I always like a 1 to 2, and that does me fine. So that's Euro US. Okay, so have a look at GBP CAD. Again, very similar situation. There's the news, and again quite choppy. There's our trend lines, very similar, chopping around. Okay, and yeah, we could have stayed in a little bit later. We got this situation here. The price went above the trend line and then it started to go up and it took out this imbalance here. Okay, so that would have been a decent move, but we were well out of trade by then, and we'd already taken profits for the day. GBP USD, again, look, it's just they all look the same. Okay, we've got the news at 13:30. We've got our green trend line here, a red trend line there. We took a trade on this one probably a little bit later. You don't want to get in on this candle because it's still straddling the red trend line, so you don't want that. So get on this one. Again, 8.4 pips, 1 to 2 ratio, 16 pips profit. And yeah, we could have taken more, but what I was looking at here was the point of interest, and I just like to go conservative with that and then take the profits above it. And if it's about 1 to 2, you've got a really nice scenario for a good trade. Went down to here, okay, a little bit further down, and it went back up. This went back up at 14.18, and again, as I said on the previous one, you could have got in for another trade if you wanted to, okay. But we've got two trades there, 1 to 2. So thank you very much. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go to the end. We're going to go to the 15-minute time frame, and we're going to put our indicators on. So what I'm going to do just for now, I'm going to take off our straightforward, just so we can see things a bit better. In fact, you could even go as far as taking that off. Look at that. Look how nice and clean that is. That's nice. I like that. Okay, and also we've got imbalance that's been mitigated, it's been taken out, so we're going to get rid of that. We'll get rid of our points of interest just for now, because you don't want too many lines on the chart. So vertical line 1300, right, there we are. It's only 12.56, came in a little bit earlier just to show you what happened yesterday. So we'll put the trend line on. That's it for now, and all we can do is we'll just wait until 13.15, until the 1300 candle has finished on the 15-minute time frame, and then we'll put those trend lines on. And again, I always say it's really simple. So let's go to the let's go to the 15-minute time frame. We'll just take off these indicators for now so we can see. Oh, I do like that when it's clean. Look at that. There's your imbalance. Look how price came down just to touch that imbalance, just to mitigate that imbalance, so we can take that away. And do we still have imbalance further down? Yeah, see, that's still active. So again, potentially price could want to come down today to, it'll probably come down to, you know, oh, it's already there, look. It's already there. Okay, to those areas. And this is what I say, if you're going for a sell, don't be optimistic. Take away the optimism bias. Okay, think, okay, maybe it's going to go to there. Okay, even less. Okay, instead of saying, well, it's wicked down to there, so there's my take profit level. Okay, take the pessimistic approach. Right, so line on, that's a 1300, and we'll put our couple of trend lines on. Good. Right, we'll move on to the next one. Euro USD. So imbalance here, that's been taken out, so we're going to get rid of that. Our points of interest, we'll take those out as well. And what have we got here? Oh yeah, that's our trend line from yesterday. No, it's imbalance. It's a thin one, but look, it's been taken away. So the imbalance up here, this looks like it's still, no, it isn't. Look, see, it's been just been taken out there, just got taken away. So that's gone. All right. So we'll put our trend lines on, and then we'll come back, and then we'll have a look at the imbalance that we've got for today, which is relevant. So we'll take away these, nice and clean. 1300 trend lines on. Right, we've got GBP CAD imbalance here. Look, it's been taken out. Look, now it's been taken out now. Let's go to here. Let's go to the 15-minute. So we'll take this off, and we'll take these points of interest off as well. And again, some people like to keep all the lines on, But you know, you have too many lines on, you just don't know what you're looking at half the time. So keep it as nice and clean as possible. All right. Vertical line goes on the 1300. Trend lines just go on the pages for now, on the chart for now. Right, and GBP USD, I've done that one. GBP CAD, yeah, they're all done. They're all done. Good. Right, so look for imbalance. So on the 15-minute time frame, excuse me, looking for imbalance, and all we're looking for is a gap between the first and third candles. So you can see the. Now I'm going to call that one done. This one has been mitigated. So we've got the imbalance here. This is still live. There's nothing else that I can see. No, nothing I can see there. Okay, just again, imbalance. Some people call it a fair value gap. Either way, it's the same thing. It's just where the market is out of balance, where you get too many buyers or too many sellers, or so all buyers or all sellers at any one time. So if you can see like here, where the price kind of started to go up, and then it shot up, and then it went across. There were some buyers and there were some sellers. See the wick came down, and then it went back up again. Okay, so between that wick, okay, and this wick at the bottom, let's just make that a bit more accurate. So, and this wick here, made that very accurate. Okay, so between that wick and this wick and this wick, okay, there's imbalance, okay, in those two areas, and you're going to get an indicator to show it, make it a little bit easier for you. But I always think, you know, if you can reduce your indicators and just learn things for yourself, you become less reliant on looking at different colours, and you kind of understand the relationships you get with the markets. Euro USD, where's imbalance in there? Let's have a look. Nothing there. Tiny little bit there, look. See this? So that's the first candle. That's the one that we're looking at, the middle one. And this one is the third candle, okay? So you can see between here, there's no wick on there. So let me just make it a bit bigger so you can see it. Looks like a square. We're going to put the box from there, and we're going to bring that box down to the next wick, which is the next candle, okay? And that's imbalance. Then I like to just, if it'll do it, there we go. Just take the text to the point where we're trading, and I'll see if I can just grab this trend. Yeah, typical. Right, let's put him back. That's it. Alright, GBP CAD, what have we got in the way of him? See, straight away you can see it. See this big candle? Okay, where you've got from there to there. So, a little bit there. See that? There is a bit of imbalance there as well on this candle. All right, let's put him on. You may as well try and get all these in line. Good. Now you might wonder, why have I extended it all the way to here and over there? It's only because I can, just so I can see it. Just so I can see it between the first and third. So it bears no relevance. I suppose technically it should be there, okay, because at least, you know, it looks better. I would say architecturally speaking it looks better. That's it. That's correct. All right. Right, that's that. GBP USD. And again, look, it's almost a similar, exactly similar sort of story. Let's get these out of the way first. All right, so just there, down to there. And no, nothing there. And nothing down here really. That's it. What time are we at? 13:07. A few minutes yet before the 13:15 candle. So right, let's check we've got them all on. So imbalance on there, done. Yeah, we're all done. We're all done. We're all ready for 13:15. Let's make this all nice and pretty. There we go. Look at that. And this is just make this a bit more accurate. There, good. Right. So, for the purposes of the strategy, once these trend lines go on, what are we looking for? Okay, well, let's put our straightforward indicator back on. So we're looking for waves. Okay, wave down, wave up. Okay, wave up, buy, wave down, sell. Okay. Next thing is we've got the wave indicator on here, as illustrated by these candles. And sometimes when you're in a trade, these will just add an additional confirmation on the strength of the movement, strength of the price at the time, to tell you whether to stay in a trade or get out. Okay, and you can see how the candles are quite long, and then they start to get a little bit shorter, and then they start to go a bit longer, obviously signified by this price. You've got this sideways movement here. Okay, so what time was this? Was 7 o'clock this morning. So start of London Open. So yeah, I mean that's obviously a sharp move downwards on the 50-minute time frame. So and also the other things we're looking for is the PSAR, the parabolic stop and reverse. We've got the red at the top pushing down. Okay, it's not actually pushing down, but that's how I always remember it, giving us an idea of, you know, the price action, and also the distance between the PSAR from there and the top of the candle, the body of the candle, can also indicate volume, that there's more volume in the market. And obviously, as you can see, as it got towards this consolidation, then it gets less and less, and then what happens is that the price then starts to reverse. The candle will then touch the PSAR and it will then turn green, and then we're looking at a possible change of direction. Okay, so we go from looking from buys to sells and sells to buys and so on. So that's that. The next thing we've got is the moving averages. So in terms of the moving average, we've got the 200 at the top, the blue, we've got the 62, we've got the 13, and we've got the 5 on the white. And what I always like to do, if we're looking at a trend change or a trend direction or price action, I want these moving averages to be in line, okay? And kind of where they were coming down here, you've got the 200, the 62, the 13 and the 5, and they're all in line. So again, this is just another confirmation that price is going to continue in this direction, or potentially going to continue in this direction. And of course the pivots. I like the pivots. I like to work with support and resistance and on pivots. And finally, we've got the Wadar down here. Okay, now the Wadar, what it will do is it will give us an idea. The histogram gives us volume in the market. So where's the volume and what's it doing? So in terms of a sell, if we look at these dark red histogram lines, I'll call them lines. When the dark red, okay, it's indicating strength, and also we've got this explosion line, which currently is in the dead zone in this area. Then it starts to move away from the dead zone, and once it's outside the dead zone, then we can consider buys or sells in the direction. Okay, and when it goes kind of salmony pink, it's getting slightly weaker, then it gets slightly stronger, and then we sort of base our trading decisions based on things like this. Now, one thing I will say about the Wadar and any particular indicator that you get, they're all lagging indicators, so they all tell you what's happening or what's just happened. So it's good if you're looking at general price action. Okay, let me just explain this. Same thing in the opposite direction. Okay, got greens. Okay, dark green nice and strong, light green a little bit softer, a little bit of a weaker move, moving up away from a dead zone, and then once we get this out, this would be good if it was, but the histogram's in the wrong direction. Okay, here we've started to get the greens, but the explosion line is coming back down, back into the dead zone. Okay, so nothing's really happening. But yeah, any indicator is there to confirm your thoughts. Okay, it makes it a bit easier for you. And the way we look at indicators is they're just confirmations or stacks of probability. Okay, the more stacks that add up in your favor, then the more confidence you get in a certain trend or a certain strategy. Okay, so that's the way I look at it. There's lots of things to look at. Right, 13:13. Still got 2 minutes yet, or a minute and a bit before we can put these trend lines on. And I said yesterday, the only real way to learn trading is to sit in front of the charts during the time that you are available. So I always say, if you want to trade, find a strategy that fits in with your lifestyle and also your risk tolerance. Okay, so some people like doing what I do, which is scalping. In fact, I'll tell you a little very brief story, is that I didn't know what the hell I was in terms of trading, and I like all trading. I like the scalping, and I'm quite happy doing longer term trades as well. And some people like one or the other. Not many people like to do everything, but I do. I don't know what that means for my psychology. Obviously very intelligent. Yeah, okay. Thanks for that. But yeah, you fit in. You get a strategy that fits in with your lifestyle, and it makes it a lot easier. So currently, the time, we are 10 seconds away. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the higher high. So let me take the indicators back off again. So we're looking for the higher high next to this one. Okay, so the higher high, you can see from the crosshairs, is this red one here. So magnet tool goes on. In fact, put the right one on. There's the higher high. So the lower low is this one here. So say just put your crosshairs. So yes, lower low is there. So I've actually got that on the wrong one. So yeah, there we go. Right, we're going to put this just on the wick. That's it. And then we're going to grab this trend line and put it on the top wick. There we go. Beautiful. Put it on for 2 minutes. Put back on our Forex, straightforward Forex indicator, and also our clouds. And there we go. We're sat, we're ready, we are poised, and we'll put them on the others. So Euro CAD. So magnet tool on. The higher high is the one right next to it. The lower low just on that, there's a little nib there, a little tiny bit of a wick, so the lower low is here. Should have been these, I'm putting these trend lines on a bit too big. We're going to the next day, so I'm just going to bring it down. Right, so bottom of the wick, which is there, and we've got no wick there. See there's no actual wick. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it through the body. All right, so just through there, just through that. That's it. There we go. Bang it on for 2 minutes. And we're good to go. Right, Euro USD. The higher high is just a small wick next to it. Just on top. Lower low is the one here. You say there's no wick there, so we'll repeat the process as the previous one. Just bring the trend line up into the middle. And there we go. And I put it on for 2 minutes. I just might make it a little bit smaller because I like to see what's going on. I like to see what's going on left. Okay. Right, GBP CAD. In fact, we'll better put our indicators back on. Good. GBP CAD. Right, our higher highs there. We've got a little wick there. So we'll call this one there. Let's go and put in. There we go. Lower low, one next to it. Okay, right. Just making those trend lines a bit smaller because they were too long. Right, so again, no wick. So I'm going to hit the body, through the middle of the body. There we go. And we've got a tiny wick there, so just on top. What happened there? I think our wick disappeared. Right, high high was just here, wasn't it? And from there, top of the wick. There we go. Don't know what happened there, but it's on. 2 minutes. Okay, so GBP USD, that's on. So yeah, they're all on. I'll just put the indicators back on. So where we are right now with this one, this is. Let me just check the news again. Yeah, 9 minutes for US news, and it's US news it's nearly all day, all the way through till 7:30 tonight UK time. So yeah, the Euro CAD, if you can see this one, it's gone above the line, okay, but it's still straddling the line. So it's telling me that this line obviously is offering resistance. It's still straddled it, and even if it went clear, again we're still looking for the clear air, but we've got the pivot there which is going to act as resistance, and we've also got the 200 moving average. Okay, so if we take it from this area, say here, 5 pips, 7 pips, not enough in it, so we don't really get too excited about it. Euro USD is in no man's land. So when I say no man's land, this area here in this kind of wedge, okay, because what you've got support and resistance in both directions. Price really needs to break out, like not really does. Price needs to break out to the upside or to the downside for us to consider anything. And bearing in mind we've got this high impact news, we're not doing anything because we know what's going to happen. Price is going to shoot in one direction or the other, or probably both. Take out stop losses, and so yeah, same situation here. We've got a lot of imbalance to the top there, so you know price might want to come up a little bit later. This is the pound Canadian dollar, so price is going to react to whatever happens in a few minutes. See what you got here. Okay, this is interesting. Pound USD. Again, if we've got news here. Okay, we put the line on there because what I do, my eyes kind of good doing this. So we've got news. So what we might end up doing is, this is what they do sometimes, is that they'll do not a breakout but a fake out. Okay, so they'll try and tempt people. It's going up, look, it's going up, get in boys, okay? And then suddenly they'll get to the news, and then bang, it'll go down, it'll take out the stop losses that are here, it'll go straight up, it'll take out the stop losses that are here, and they'll liquidate the markets. And as you can see, that's what's happening now. That's what actually happened this morning at 6 a.m. On the 6 a.m. session. There was a fake out. It came up to about this level here. In fact, what happened was it came to the equal highs, so it may well go to there, or it may well go to maybe even these levels here. Probably, I would say conservatively or sensibly, take the magnet tool off, these sort of levels about here, because you see you got a touch, all these nice touches, and once again it's touched it just there. So they may well take it to this area before coming back and then setting people up for a fail when it comes to the news. So you've got to be mindful of what's happening and just know, you know, how the different institutions work. So yeah, this is kind of looking interesting. I'm still be mega cautious because it's the news, even though it's so let's go put the news on at 13:30. There's the news. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put my high news. All right, so price may well go up to the imbalance, might take out the imbalance, but we're going to wait. GBP USD. Where's the other US pair? The Euro USD. That'll probably be similar. I'm just going to put my vertical line on, just the news, just to give me a visual indication. But again, in terms of the trading strategy, regardless of where the news is, we're still in no man's land. We still don't want to be in a trade anywhere in this situation. Okay, we want to break out to the bottom or to the top, but again, we're just going to be patient and just wait and see what happens when the news kicks in. 5 minutes yet. So when I talk about these points of interest, when something's doing this and it's kind of piquing my interest because now it's above the green trend line, it's peak of interest. It's got it's into the imbalance, and where might price go? Okay, well, the first thing it's going to do is going to hover. See this area here. This is an area of support for this price action, but resistance for when it's below it. Okay, so it's going to go to there. It might resist. Okay, we're not going to go in it because of the news, but we've always got to say, where might price go? We've got the pivot, and then we've got more imbalance, and quite possibly after the news we could find, after price has messed about wherever it's going to go, we could find it takes out the imbalance and maybe even goes all the way up here. Okay, if that's the case, then somewhere around here potentially you could move 45 pips. However, I think this morning, or was it yesterday, because of the news, the price went 50 pips almost straight away, and there's not a lot you can do about that. So yeah, points of interest, this pivot. Okay, the next sort of area is the line here, the start of the imbalance, and you can just see how our price just respects it all the time. Every single line you've got to make an assessment and find out what's happening, and just do more of it. Just repetition and finding out what the pairs do and the relationship, and the more you do, the more experience you get. You still don't get it 100% right, because you're dealing with the markets, and you're never going to get it 100% right. But if you get it right most of the time, 90% of the time is good, 80% of the time is good. Obviously it depends on your risk to reward, but we're looking for good trades, not just any old trade. Quality trades is what we want. And you see some people doing these prop firms where, okay, we got no, not yet. See people doing the prop firms, and you see some people taking any old scabby trade, and they'll do 10 or 15 trades and fail. And you see some people taking maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 trades over the allotted time, and they're quality trades, and they'll pass with consistency. And if you pass with consistency, then of course you're going to profit consistently as well. That's what we want. That's what we want. Mitigate the risks, make some money, have a good lifestyle, and it just starts by getting a strategy that suits you, and sticking with it and learning it. So you can see what our chart right now is showing us positive price action with that explosion line moving upwards. It's gone slightly lighter. Okay, but I mean that's just represented by the fact the candle is not quite as strong. 110, a minute left on this time frame. It's now gone stronger, and we're just about to hit the news, so this will be interesting to find out where it goes. But ordinarily I'd be looking at a nice potential buy with this one, because everything's lining up nicely. In fact, we haven't even got we didn't even get our indicators on. There we go. Okay. All right. Now with the indicator on, what's that told us right now? Okay. It's told us that the price right now is at the 200 moving average, which is interesting, because what I would then want the next candle to be free of it, and then we can look at possibly a nice move to the upside from there. Okay. So yeah, it's always good to have the right indicators on. Right, where are we at with this news? We're at 15 seconds away. All right, so let's have a look at GBP USD, because that'll be the one that gets affected quickest. See what happens. Guarantee price will come down drastically and then go back up again. Oh no, it's the wrong way. Goalkeeper. It went up. Look at that. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So it's taken out the imbalance. So people who were in the cells, they've had their stop losses taken out. And of course the banks can see what stop losses have gone where. So for them, a stop loss is just a stop hunt. it's an order. Where do we place our orders? Because then we can liquidate the markets. So yeah, that's a huge move. That's that little move there was it was not huge, 15 pips. We are on a 2-minute time frame, by the way. Okay, so let's go back. So Euro CAD. Let's see how it's affected the euro. It's actually gone past it, but again, this 200 moving average is still offering resistance. Okay, so we're just sat watching. Okay, so there's the news coming in from TradingView. Dollar gains as traders await Fed signal on rate cut. Okay. So as I always say, the analogy I always give is that, you know, someone's come into a room with a flamethrower and the room's on fire. You don't run in, you don't do anything, you don't try and save your telly. All right, you just let everything, you just leave it. Okay, safety first, caution first, account management first. Okay, and then we'll wait until all this dies down, and we'll tell when it dies down, because price will kind of rebalance itself. And the traders who lost will be dusting themselves down, and then we'll find out where the markets want to go under normal circumstances. The other thing as well, we've got the next set of news is 16:30. That's not too bad. It's low impact, though it doesn't really make a lot of difference. And then 1900 later on. Okay. So with this imbalance now being mitigated, we've now got to say, okay, does price want to continue to the upside? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see. Big move there, look. Right, let's have a look at the rest. GBP CAD, taking out all the imbalance as before. I think a very, very similar picture with them all. We've still got imbalance up here. Okay. So be mindful of that. In that price might want to go above the 200 moving average and move to the upside. But right now we're just sat on our hands, just watching. There's no stress, there's no pressure to get in a trade. We look at the markets, we respond, we wait for the market to come to us. We don't chase it. So if we're thinking about getting in for a sell, under the guidelines of this strategy, we want it to come below the red trend line. Okay, and that's quite far away, quite far away. So previous highs, so we've got this area here, which is an area of interest, okay, just above this top level of imbalance, which is actually where price went to when under manipulation. Is a little bit we just passed it. So if I just if I'm putting areas of interest on, what I would tend to do is if I'm going for a buy, I would put my area of interest just kind of conservatively. I wouldn't put it on the body because price goes up. Okay, I would put it there, and that would be my sort of safe take profit level. Then the next area, I would kind of move it up. Where do we look at? Okay, possibly this area here. Okay, just tapping into these lows here. And that's what I do, is you sort of go, well, what's happened to the price? So have a look left. Okay, look at this little cluster here. Okay, it's nice. It's nice. Just above that 200 moving average. Okay. In fact, you could do it to there. So you get a few hits here, and also the hit on there. you know, for a buy. So, you know, if prices are moving up and you're looking at these, I'll tell you what, when you get these right, these are accurate. Okay, but again, you've got to be conservative. You've got to be conservative with it. So, at the moment, we're just waiting. Yeah, it's looking nice for a buy, this. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put a long position on. It's quite soon after the news, so that's the only thing I'm a little bit twitchy about. But if we take it to there, take it to the bottom of that big engulfing candle, that's where our stop loss is. Okay, and our main consideration is account management first and foremost. All right, and the next thing we're looking at doing a 1 to 2. Okay, it's still, for me, it's still a little bit soon after the news, so this isn't a what do you call it, a committed buy. It's just I'm just putting that there just for illustration, really. And you know, if we look at those areas, I put these on. Look, so our first one would be just into the on the wick. Just on the wick there. Okay, next one would be again conservatively here. Around there. Okay, so kind of general points of interest, we look at those. And the other thing is, sometimes you can just end up putting too many lines on. Okay, so look at the price action. How positive was it? If you even go back a bit further. Okay, so you could even go back to there. That's a nice one. That's what you want to be. That's it. Okay, that's a nice one. Take this down for here. There we go. See, look, we've got touches here. You might need your glasses on to see it. Okay, but you've got touches back to there, all the way across, touching. That's nice. Okay, we'll just leave that there for now. Let's move that across a little bit. Right, see what happens to that. Where are we? Euro CAD. Not really doing much. Still bouncing off the 200 moving average. In fact, we're down here now, so we're bouncing off the pivot. So there's a lot in the way. There's a lot of obstacles. Okay, you've got this pivot, you've got the 200 moving average. If and when price goes above there, then what have we got? Okay, so we've got a pivot which is miles away. Okay, but then we've also got the higher highs, or the lower highs as they are in this case. From here, that's the higher high. These are forming lower highs. Again, just go back. You just got to go back and see. Okay, where's the price action gone? Okay, well, right now we're in this area here. Okay, so that's already touched it. Okay, and the next area of interest. Yeah, we're just in this area here. Okay, so from there, just take the magnet off. So what I'm looking at is, because we're looking at potential buys on this one, I'm looking at this area here where the 2 wicks came down. I don't know if you can see that. Make it bigger for you. That area there, that's what I was looking at. Okay, this area here touching. Okay, see how price came down, wicked it again from the other side. wicked it there, and it's a good indication. It's nice and accurate. When you get multiple touches, multiple taps, that's what you want. All right. And a similar thing here. There, taps, bottom of the wick, because we're going for buys from below. Okay, and it just makes it conservative. So we'll see. Let's see what happens on that. Obviously, price isn't doing anything right now. But if price came into this area here, say there, and up to there, we've got 13 pips. So on the 2 minute time frame, there would be enough, generally speaking, depending on when you got in, for a 1 to 2. Bearing in mind you've got your broker spread and all that sort of thing. 20 pips up to the next one, and then we've got, you know, a bit of a run above that. So let's just see what happens. The Euro USD, there, he's starting to go. So where have we got points of interest on this? So just to make it a bit easier, this is where, that's where price has got to. Yeah, that'll do. If I'll go, we'll go back even further. Yeah, good. So we're going back to here. So this is where price is right now. So remember, we're going for looking at potential buys. So we're looking at those taps. Well, we've definitely got one there, and I would say that's conservative. Tapping at the top and tapping at the bottom. Okay, then we've got the pivot line, so that's quite a decent one. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. Otherwise, we'll end up with too many lines on the chart. So distance to the next, I mean, obviously we've got the imbalance to get through. We've got, that's a resistance, only 2 pips away. That's 8 pips away, and the next one up here is 28 pips away. So really, we'd want price to kind of, depends on the price action as well. Sometimes price kind of just wanders around, you know, like a I'm going to be careful what I say here. Like a drunk person. Okay, that wasn't my first thought, but yeah, they just wanders around. It's like, what am I doing? You know, maybe someone's had too much weed or something. You know, the kind of. But when a price action goes up and it's positive, and you can see the move, you can see the intentions. That's when you go, okay, this is going well. Okay, it's going up to there. It's past that. It's past that. Now it's on its way. Okay, so it's a nice move. All right, so. Similar sort of situation with this. Okay, it's kind of, you know, meandering. If you look at the Wadarata, okay, we had the move up here, so the histogram is showing us some nice volume, and then it's kind of petered off. Okay, not much volume left. GBP USD. So we're still heading in the right direction, but again, it's not particularly positive. It may well get to this area of imbalance, to the top of the imbalance. And sometimes when it does that, when price is kind of just meandering and doesn't really know what it wants to do, if it gets to your first point of interest, then you know you can consider whether you want to get out or not. And sometimes for the scalping strategy, for people who like to scalp, they, you know, if you've been in a trade for longer than sort of, you know, half an hour, then people get a bit twitchy, and it's like, yes, let's get out now. Okay, but this is going back to the downside, so we'll just see what goes on with that. Euro USD, not doing a huge amount. I mean, in terms of the strategy, the price came above the green trend line. Okay. That was the 13:30 news. So the price came above the green trend line. We had the green PSAR. We had the moving averages in order. Okay. The Wadarata was showing us a strong move for the upside, but we've got this imbalance here. So even though it's above, it's still not really what I would call clear air. Okay, you still got a lot of obstacles in the way. So not a great trend, not a great trade. Okay, so why get in a trade if you're never going to be 100% sure if a trade is going to go or not. But the more trades you do, the more you get an idea of where price is going to go. And right now, this is just kind of going. That's the technical term for it. All right. So if we look at the pips, take the magnet tool off. The pips to there, 8.6 pips. We've got just scraping 10 pips. With that. So when you consider broker spread, are you really going to get a 1-to-2 ratio? Let's have a look. If we decided to go long, and if we got in just here, got in just there, right? It's a bit bigger so we can see it. That's better. That's better. Right. So we would want our stop loss to be below the green trend line, and also probably maybe just slightly below this engulfing candle. Okay, bearing in mind that was the news. Okay, and we're only 5 pips stop loss. Okay, so that's decent. It's a good position. And if we go up to a 1-to-2, so you can see there risk to reward is at 2, then it takes us just above this point of interest. So no, there's not enough in it. Okay, like I said, you don't want to be hoping that price is going to go. You're going to be looking at price and going, yeah, well, the previous price went up to here, so therefore that is a nice, sensible and conservative area. But the numbers don't work. Okay, so we just wait. GBP CAD. That's interesting. We're starting to go to the downside now, so let's see what's going to happen. In this situation, we've gone past the crossover, so obviously it's done all its thing up here. This 200 moving average and also the pivot offering too much resistance. Okay, so what it's done now is come back down. Okay, the red trend line is now offering resistance in this direction, and also the green trend line will do the same. It's going to offer resistance. So what I would look for in this situation is for price to come down. Okay, and there we've got a breaker structure. Okay, so there's your lower low. Okay, in this move. Now if price comes down into the clear air and just goes past there, okay, then potentially we could end up with a nice move to the downside. Wadarata is giving us strength on there. Okay, and what's it doing? The explosion line is kind of coming back in towards the dead zone, so, and as you can see, as indicated by the green candle. So again, we just wait, and like up here was like a waiting game. Okay, is it going to go past the 200 moving average? No, it didn't. Okay, but if you get into a trade here, or let's say you get into a trade here, okay, thinking, well, it's above the green trend line, and we've got clear air, and we've got the PSAR flip, and we've got strength down here. What we need to consider is where's the moving average, and if we got into that trade somewhere around here, for example, okay, then, well, you've got 13 pips, so potentially, if you got in at the right time, you could have got in there. But it's tight. It's tight, and it would have gone up to there. So you could have got a trade out of that. But currently, we've now got a bun fight going on round here. Okay, for buyers and sellers. Are the sellers going to break through? Are the buyers going to win? That's what you've got to see. Price might just bounce off it all the way up. Might go back up to the upside, or it might break through. So currently, right now, we've got a minute on this time frame. And what I would want price to come down past the green trend line, break into clear air, and then head down. And based on the price action, we'd consider whether we're going to get in for a sell or not. What our ATAR is showing us is there's a bit of strength. The explosion line is, say, curled. Just see how it's just slightly curled back up to the, just here, look, back up to the explosion line. It's just, sorry, I'll take that off. Just curling there. See the crosshair just here. We'll just stay on this one for a few more seconds. Only 20 seconds left. But I think what it's going to do is it's going to form a new candle, and it's going to be dragging its feet. The new candle is going to be touching the red trend line. Yes, don't know where that. There you go. So there's a new candle, just making its way. In fact, there's very little volume left in that now. Currently. Right, so we'll just see what GBP USD is doing. Yeah, I mean it's hit a resistance zone just here. Okay, so again, nothing really much happening, and you can see from the WADR that the histogram's kind of very flat. Okay, so there's no volume in that yet. If we were in this trade, which we're not, I think this was just put on for illustration, we still would have been in, and you can see where this went down to, and you can see why we go past the as far as our strategy goes. This forms areas where we can take potential stop losses. Okay, but here we took it just to where this engulfing candle was at the news, and it's just kept us in. Okay, if we're in this. So again, we're about break even, but not a great trade. And what you've got to do as well is, if you're taking a prop firm challenge, okay, look at the tolerances of drawdown, and you know, risk accordingly. All right. So again, 1% is ideal. Okay, this is what we're on now, 1%. So it's moving to the upside a little bit. So we'll look to the left and just see what we've got going on here. So there's no real. So we'll look on the 15-minute. Right, so you see where price is right now, and I'm looking at that going, well, why is price stopping there? What's going on? Okay, so on the bigger time frame, we're at a support and resistance area, bang on, just here. Okay, on the 15-minute. In fact, we'll put that on. Okay, so you can see where the bodies went down here. Okay, it wicked all the way along there. It wicked all the way along here. Okay, almost. Did it come down to there? I think it almost came down to there on the 12th at 22.15, and where we are right now, the price is respecting it. Okay, so that's interesting. Right, it's just gone over the hour. So as I always say, what you want to do is just keep monitoring the different trades. Okay, keep monitoring, because you'll get price movement at some point probably up till about 4 or 5 o'clock even sometimes with this strategy. So keep the lines on, and then if you've got yourself trading view, then just hit the save button, okay, and the save button is going to keep all your lines and all your charts all intact, and that's really important when you do back testing. So let's give a quick look through them. So Euro CAD, yeah, Euro CAD's kind of not doing much at all. Euro USD, yeah, potentially could have had a buy there, but again there's quite a lot in the way. That's on the 2 minute. Yeah, GBP CAD, yeah, sideways, maybe slightly gone into consolidation in this little area here. And GBP USD, we've just been looking at that. It may well go above, but you can see what's happening right now is that by putting these lines on, we've got too many lines on here, and this is what sometimes can happen, is that you put your lines on and you end up with too many. Okay, so just put them on in obvious places of interest. But yeah, I mean, if we were in this, we're still waiting. We would be slightly in profit, but again, it's not a great trade, and it looks like it's, again, the market's starting to consolidate. So save all your drawings, and keep monitoring throughout the day and come back and see. Anyway, if you got some value from this, then please consider subscribing to the channel. You can hit the subscribe button just down there, and if you got some value from this, also give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate that on this or any of the videos on here. And if you want some more information about what we do and trading with our team, you can see the description. You see the links down in the description, and we'll be back tomorrow at 6 AM for the Crossfire strategy. Talk soon.